Hey everyone, it's been a while since my last video, but I thought I'd spend some time and make a video for all the new warriors out there who are asking what skills you should or should not take for PvP, and we'll get right into it. So the first skill I'm going to talk about is Slash. You don't want to take this skill because you'll never find yourself in a situation where you're just sitting there and holding down your left mouse button. The amount of points you spend into it is also not worth it for what it gives. Heavy Strike is the same thing as Slash. Not worth the points spent into it. It doesn't give you enough stuff. The healing is nice, but I mean, you really won't use it. You just pot. Meditation here. This skill locks you up. You'll have to sit there for it to regen, and it costs health, which honestly I don't think it's worth leveling up, but it's only like 9 points, which is fine if you want to get it, but it's not a good priority at all. Kick. So kick, you get this by default, but chopping kick, I would highly recommend maxing this, because once you max it, you get the cancel for chopping kick, and it's just overall a very good skill because you can use this to cancel the animation on your S right click, which is your primary damage skill. You can use this to knock down your opponent, so it has a lot of benefits. This is just comes with your class. This one you get from finishing your quest. Piercing Spear, I like it a lot. It's a range stagger on cooldown, and you can use this to catch the pesky archers that keep moving around and avoiding you if you time it properly, and then you close the gap with some gap closing skill. It does good, well, decent damage, but I mean, you use it mostly for the CC. Frenzied Charge, I haven't really tried it out myself. It's kind of equivalent to the Valkyrie's charge, except I think the startup animation is slower. The damage percentage looks nice, but since I haven't really put points into it, I can't really tell you, but I'd probably leave it blank for now since a lot of warriors on Korean actually don't take this skill, so I can't give you much feedback about this one. Twilight Scars is your bread and butter, well, your secondary bread and butter skill. This is really good for farming, but since this is a PvP video, this is really good for zoning and keeping your opponents at bay. While you're using it during the animation, you're blocking the entire time, so it's good for just overall zoning your opponents out, AoE damage, and you can regen your MP when this skill hits an opponent. So we'll get into Shield Strike. You don't want to level this up. Shield Strike, it's not that great. The second level is necessary in order for you to unlock Upper Shield Strike, which is basically like an uppercut. This skill itself isn't the greatest, but I mean, occasionally you can throw it out, especially when you don't have enough shield points to stay guarded against like a ranger or something. You're actually guarded during this time and it won't take up your shield points, I believe. And you might get lucky and land the air smash or the floating when you hit them, but I mean, low priority. So we'll get into forward slash. This skill is really good, even for leveling. It gives you some more WP, which is the warrior mana, and when you max it, you can get the canceling, which is what you see most warriors do to travel around. If you don't see it, let me show you really quickly. Actually, I don't. Oh yeah, I do. So if you just this is the skill that I'm talking about. Okay, so it's really good for just general movement and mobility. It does some actually decent damage too when you knock down. Sideways cut, I mean, it's debatable. They buffed it in Korea, but you can do without it. It's not the greatest skill. You're not immune when you're doing the animation either, so you can get knocked down or stunned or staggered or anything like that. So I mean, just leave it alone for a bit. Counter, I've seen some people actually get counter because of the stuff you can do with counter, such as there's actually a range strike with the max level of it, but it does cost an insane amount of points, 42 as you can see, and honestly it's not worth it, since, or not that it's not worth it, but you have better skills to prioritize, and this is on a cooldown, so it's every like 12 or 18 seconds. It's quite a long time before you can relaunch or throw out the long range skill. But I mean, if you have the extra points after you've done like a basic build, I'd probably not put it in or put those points in until then, until you maxed everything else out first. So spinning slash, this is your bread and butter skill. It's basically what your damage, or a warrior, any damage that a warrior can do comes from this skill right here. You don't need whirlwind, you don't need jump slash, you need this, the ultimate one, so you can do it speeds up rotation. This, I believe, this one gives you the extra effect that increases your cast speed after using it. I'm not sure what warrior, I'm not sure what casting speed has to do with warrior, since most of it, the skills scale off attack speed, but it's just overall nice buff to have. I do believe it might speed up spinning slash slightly. There's this skill right here is absolutely necessary if you're putting points in spinning slash, which you should be. This one allows you to do 2 at a time if you just hold it down. So after you do one, you just hold the mouse button down and you do a second one right there. So I definitely get these right here. You can probably skip these too. Grab, a lot of people, it's debatable. You can max it for the damage, you can not max it. I'd actually only just take one of it because the double grab is kind of buggy. It slows you down. It does do good damage though, but honestly I would just get this and instant grab, so the animation for your grab is fast. Definitely max guard, because if you don't have it maxed, it takes up it's for warriors, you take up stamina when you're walking around in guard, and you don't want to do that. Slowly, actually what it is that if you don't have it maxed, you're going to walk around really slowly and it takes up a lot of stamina, and you just want to buff it up. And when you maintain your guard up, you can see right here a 15 DP buff if you hold it up. So you should definitely max this. Some people get this hilt smash, shield counter, furious blow, these skills right here. I don't get it. You can if you want, debatable, you don't really have to. Shield charge, mandatory. You definitely want to get this. This skill is all around purpose. Everything, you can hold up your shield, hold space bar, you can do that, or you can just forward and right click. That does it too. It staggers when it hits an opponent, so it's very good to max out, and it has a relatively short cooldown, as you can see, about 3-4 seconds, so it's really good. You can use it to travel, to put it in between your combos. It's up to you, but you definitely need to max this. It's up to you how to use it, of course. Don't get this skill. Charging slash is crap. Okay, piercing thrust, deep thrust, whatever you want to call it. Don't get the bottom row of these, because the jumping ones, I mean, some people do get it, but honestly you could spend the time to just close, just because this skill applies a stagger, so you could just spend the time to gap close and then knock them down for even more damage with spinning slash, this skill right here, instead of using this stuff. So it's just a waste of points, but you do want to max this. I don't have it maxed because I just saved points for awakening and I didn't feel like grinding too much. So once you max this, it cancels, it gives you a cancel. The range is increased as well, which I don't think it says here. Oh yeah, it does. 3.5, 4.2, 4.5 range increases ever so slightly more once you get the ultimate version of it, but you should definitely max this on NA. Charging thrust, this skill is very good, but it costs a lot of points to max, and I'd probably prioritize it for the latter half. I mean, well, what I mean by latter half is later on, after you've maxed the more important skills. I'll go over what your priority should be, but this is really good for traveling. This is the one where you see warriors running around the field. Actually on KR, I think they nerfed the distance and the speed of it a little bit, but it's still a fairly good skill. If you get this point, you will stay guarded during the entire animation of this, so it's really good for gap closing on rangers and wizards and such, if they don't teleport out of it. This skill, Warcry, it's your taunt. You don't need it. You can get 1 point in it just to play around with your enemies or whatever and just taunt them, but you don't need it. Ground Roar is nice at 1 point. This is a debuff skill. You throw it in your combo sometimes, and then you do damage, and that's pretty much it. You don't have to max it. This skill, ground smash, I would definitely max on an A because of once you get past, I think, the 3rd rank or the 4th rank, the speed of your ground smash becomes a lot faster. I can get some mana to show you. So you could do that. The animation of it, for it to come out, is a lot faster once you get past the 3rd rank. And overall it does really good damage. It applies a knockdown, slow, and it's just great. Overall AoE skill, PvP, you'd probably throw this in your combo. It can reset your knockdown counter, etc. It's just really good, and you should get this too. This skill, ground slash, they buffed it. It's still too weak. You don't want to get this. I mean, it has nice percentages and stuff, but I don't know, too many points. You just don't have that many points to spare. You have to max fitness training, of course. Each point of defense and HP counts. Infinite mastery is for when you hit 55 and higher. Definitely get these. You need it. It gives you 100 free HP, which is free stats. You get all this stuff maxed, so you don't have to worry about any of this. So I'll talk about the priorities right now. I would definitely prioritize spinning slash. This is the first skill that you should be maxing, absolutely, because it just does insane amount of damage when you knock them down first, of course. Don't do this when you're standing. It doesn't do that much damage if you're just standing there, but if you knock them down, you could do quite a bit of damage with your combo. I'd get 1 point and grab, of course. Probably get the instant grab as well, because it just speeds up the animation for it if you have it. And warrior grab's pretty OP. It's like a 1-2 yard. It covers like all the way up to here, so it's pretty far. I would probably save points up until you hit upper 40s before you get anything else. As soon as you hit 37, you have to grab this. This is your primary farming skill, and in PvP it's really good damage as well. They even nerfed it and it still does great damage, so it's good. Let's see what else. I would probably go for this one next. Not charging thrust, my bad. This one, ground smash. So after you do spinning slash, you do 1 point and grab, you do your twilight scars, you get ground smash, because for leveling warriors you can knock them down and then you twilight scars or something and everything's dead, or knock them down and then S right click, you know, that kind of stuff. In PvP it is great damage. Group PvP is super useful, as I said before, so I would definitely max this second, I guess. And then I would probably get this one next, deep thrust. It's great for catching your opponents. It goes even farther than this once you max it, but it staggers at the end of that too. So you can stagger someone and then charge forward, or you can, let me show you, stagger someone and then charge forward like that, grab them. So there's tons of ways you can use deep thrust as well. I would say this is 3rd or 4th on your priority list. Or well, after this first. You should max this before you max deep thrust, just because shield charge is just insane. Shield charge is good. Yeah. Anyway, I definitely max this when you can, around the same time you would max shield charge, probably even earlier. Let's see. This is not a priority. Kick. Actually, I would make this a priority, just because you can kick and then cancel right away into your back S. I mean your S right click. Hang on, let me show you. Yeah, you can't really tell the speed up, but it's actually pretty significant, and you can knock down with kick. So I'd probably max this too. / around the same time as you max kick. This is just overall a really good skill. You can even do it sooner too if you want to. It's up to you really which order, because eventually you have to max them anyway. So I would definitely get this, and then let's see. Yeah, overall after you've gotten all of that, then you come into charging thrust. You know, it's more of a utility skill. It's not very good, because if you actually hit an enemy with it, you go into this really stupid animation where you basically do nothing, and you're very vulnerable during that. So yeah, if I go over everything, your fitness training should come last. Let's go over everything really quickly. So you definitely want to max your spinning slash first, and then your ground smash. And Twilight Scars as soon as you hit level 37. You can get your point and grab. I wouldn't max grab at all, actually. Max your shield charge. I would probably just do forward slash, honestly, because this skill is good in I mean PvE wise. If you're using this level, it's all right. It generates some HP back or recovers some lifesteal, but I mean I like the mobility better. So forward slash. After this, right, you kicked around the same time as your forward slash, and then of course you max this, and then you put some points in here. You can allocate those points after you've got everything that I've mentioned earlier. Then you can kind of play around. You can get upper shield strike if you want it. You can get the spear if you're gonna take this. I would definitely take it actually for PvP. Let's see what else. You know, I would get this early on actually, around the same time you get spinning slash, just because of the debuff. You can farm mobs really easy with that, but in terms of PvP, don't max it, just get 1 point in it. There's not much else. That's pretty much it. Everything else is up to you, really. But these are the essential skills that you really want. Right here, right here. You want to max that. You want to max this too, but you probably can't because it's higher. It's level 55. Yeah, but warriors need a lot of skill points. I did the calculations for it. If you're gonna max all these points or all these skills, including fitness training, up to right here for level 50, actually, not even the 50 or higher than 50 skills, you need like 600 something points. So I would definitely make sure you don't spend or waste points in things that you don't want. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and leave a like or comment if you guys have any questions, and subscribe. Thanks very much. See ya.